obviously, we're excited about the guys that we acquired in free agency. We were able to retain some of our own, and then we extended JC. So we were, happy to get all those deals done. Really excited, about getting the new players in here in the building, in our locker room, around our players, just for them to establish chemistry together and get going. So we're really excited about these new guys. I think what we did in free agency, it's really going to allow us, to have some flexibility in the draft of what we do in the draft. I think obviously we're going to be aggressive to get some playmakers, whether on the offense or defensive side of the ball, like I said before. So we're just really excited about the direction that we're headed. As a team, as an organization, I feel like things are really trending in a good direction, and I'm really excited. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah. We will start with Mike K, followed by Alex, and then go to Darren and Sheena.
Hey, Dan.
What's up, Mike?
Thanks for doing this. When you guys look at free agency as a whole, I know you said you're excited about the guys who weren't here. Was there a particular position or a particular aspect of the plan that didn't kind of come, full circle for you guys? And is that an opportunity now in the draft to go and attack?
Yeah, I think we pretty much hit on all our targets. Obviously, the Milton Williams thing that fell through. We're really excited about Turk and what he brings. But yeah, we're excited about those guys that we signed. I do think it's going to allow us to be flexible in the draft. But, like I said before, we were going to build our defensive front. I think we did that. We signed 3 guys there. So I think at each level, defensive line, linebacker, on the back end with Trevon, I think we addressed some needs that we have. We're far from done. There's a lot of work to do. And we're excited about the draft. We have 9 picks, and we're going to go attack it.
With that safety group, you've basically got a clean slate. Obviously there's a lot of holes there. Having the guys come visit, how aggressive do you plan on being at safety moving forward? And do you kind of have to weigh having limited experience there if you do go all in on the draft?
Yeah, there's obviously you guys saw that we brought in a few veterans. There's a few guys on the street that we like, that we think can help us. We'll see what happens there. In the draft, I think there's a good crop of safeties there too. So, we know that that's a position that, we need to address. The numbers aren't where they need to be there. But we'll get there, and, we just got to stay patient, stay with the plan, and let it happen.
Good morning, Dan.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? So you mentioned that this free agency period allowed you to have a bit more flexibility going into the draft. It's no secret, this was a very defensive free agency. Am I right in saying that those words indicate that maybe you're going to use a high pick on a wide receiver? I don't mean to put you on the spot like that, but just how much has your free agency plan affected what you need at wide receiver?
I don't think it's affected it that much. I mean, like I said to you guys before, we're going to take the best players. So however that ends up on the board when it comes to pick 8, if pick 8's an offensive guy or a defensive guy, we're just going to draft the best player that we feel is going to help our team, help our organization moving forward. And, we're really not going to box ourselves in with, any position or any need. I think that's when you get yourself in trouble, is when you do those type of things.
And then you mentioned really building up that defensive front. One guy that has kept cropping up, at least as we've talked about him, is Bobby Brown, the third. What made him such a compelling free agent target?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think you look at his age, he's still so young. I think he's 25 years old. 25 years old. He has a lot of versatility, from a position standpoint. He can play the nose all the way out to the four technique, five technique. So I think he's really valuable in terms of, securing our interior defense, run defense, and making us stronger on the inside. And that's why we bought him in. I do think he has some pass rush upside as well. That's a little bit untapped. So looking forward to getting him here and him developing and showing us, what he's got.
All right. Dan, you mentioned the Milton Williams thing. What's that process like when you guys are going through free agent meetings of, okay, we like this guy at this level, and if it gets to this point, then you do some other thing. What are those meetings like, and what goes into that process?
Yeah, I think when, myself, Brant, Coach Canales get together, we're obviously talking about who we think can help our team, and then money always comes into play, right? So, we're gonna put a number on it. I just think it comes down to us three communicating. Just being detailed with the plan, being disciplined with the plan, setting a number that we're comfortable at, and then hey, if it gets to that number, and we can choose to go over or we can choose to stay. So, but I think we come in with the plan, and then I think we stay disciplined with that plan, and I think that's key, going to be key to our success moving forward. Is just having that discipline.
Do I just start talking? Oh, okay. Good morning, Dan. I know Alex kind of touched on it as far as your free agency plans at the wide receiver position. As you saw some of those bigger name, high profile receivers sign elsewhere, how deep into negotiation were you with those guys? And is there a name still out there that you guys could be targeting for that position?
Yeah, I think with every position, not specific to wideout, we're going to look for the best players. If we feel like a player's out there that can help us, then we're going to look into it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the guy's a fit, and sometimes he's not. So we're going to explore every avenue to get better at every position, not just the receiver position. And, that's just how we're going to be moving forward.
All right, we will move to Joe Person, followed by Mike Kay, Cassidy Hill, and Phil Orban.
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Joe, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you. Back on safety, do you feel like, based on where the numbers are, that you're going to end up having to address that again in later free agency and the draft?
Again, I don't really want to, say our plans out here loud, but, I think that's obviously a position that we need to address, along with a lot of other positions. So we know there's a lot of work ahead, and we do have a plan, just not going to relay that plan right now.
With Morig, obviously had a very successful year playing closer to the line of scrimmage. Is that your vision for him? And if so, would that put you in the market for kind of a back-end ball hawk?
Yeah, obviously, it was our plan, collaborating with the coaching staff, Coach Canales, EJ, just us talking through things and what we need. We felt like Trevon was going to be a really good fit. He can play deep, but he's also really good, moving him up into like the nickel position. You can do a lot of things with him from a run defense standpoint, from a blitzing standpoint. So yeah, he brings a lot of versatility that we really liked about him. So, but yeah, in terms of a ball hawk on the backside, yeah, we're going to look for somebody. We're going to look for players that take the ball away. Who that is, I don't know. But we're actively, pursuing, and we'll be aggressive when the time comes.
And then last thing from me, could you address what those defensive tackle signings do for a guy like Derek Brown and Ashawn, for that matter, in the kind of bigger picture?
Yeah, I think it's good. Obviously, the more depth that you have, on the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive line, you can have a healthy rotation inside there. It's going to keep guys fresh. It's going to keep guys healthy. And that's our goal is to get a front that, is able to, be a bunch of great players up there that are going to be able to rotate, keep each other fresh, and play hard, play balls to the wall every single play.
Hey, Dan, when we talked to you in Indy and we talked to Dave in Indy, Dave indicated that he wanted guys, obviously at the bottom of the roster, to be able to play special teams as everybody does. But when you look at your returner units and you look at kicker and everything, on day 3, how important is it to kind of address those positions in general?
Yeah, you talking about the special teams?
Yeah, kicker and returner and I
Yeah.
guess gunner as well.
Yeah, I think day 3, returner, kickers, yeah, that's usually where you're going to get guys like that. But that's also where, we have to look at, is it a safety? If it's a safety, that's going to be our, third, fourth safety, can he play special teams? So that's going to be big, for all those back end guys. If they want to make our roster, they're going to have to play special teams. But it's up to us to identify those guys.
And then you also said you guys really were looking forward to a center competition. You've obviously re-signed Corbett, Brady's back. You've got the tender on Cade. How everybody else is kind of spoken for, but how do you feel about the competition at that position moving forward?
I think it's good. I think it's healthy, to have competition on your team, not just at the center position, but I think we want to have competition at multiple positions, and I think that's what we're trying to get to, is to where our roster's deep and guys are competing, and may the best man win.
Hey Dan, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Obviously, last year in free agency, like when you look at the offenses, particularly the line, you were going for size. When you were looking at these defensive guys this year, was there a common thread you were looking for? Was it size? Was it speed? Was it just willingness to throw themselves into a pile? What was the common thread?
I think ideally, you want those, big, long, strong, physical guys. It doesn't always, turn out that way. Maybe they don't have the height, but hey, they're strong, they're physical. They have other redeeming qualities, that can outweigh, a lack of something. So, yeah, we're just looking for guys that compete, guys that are tough, and guys that play 100% every single play.
Hey, Dan. Brent said some organizations don't give as sort of significant of a voice to his role in some of these free agency discussions. I'm just curious, like, how important is he? I'm thinking specifically of like the Milton Williams situation, where like you really like a guy, and he's saying this is going to be the impact 2, 3, 4 years down the road on the salary cap to maybe keep you guys a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah, he's staring at me right now, so I gotta be careful what I say. But no, Brant's obviously he's super valuable. To have him work next to me on a daily basis, side by side, with myself and Coach Canales, it's extremely valuable to have somebody like him. Just kind of give you the pros and cons of every decision that you make. From a financial standpoint, it's huge. So to have him, we're super lucky, and it's a group effort.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we have time for a couple more. We will go over to Gabe McDonald.
What's up, Gabe? Good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. So obviously, running back position, a lot of changes there. To take me through, maybe some insight on the decision to, part ways with Miles Sanders, but also the excitement of bringing in a guy like Rico Dowdle, coming off the best year of his career and the 1-2 punch he can have with Joe Barber.
Yeah, we're obviously we're really excited for Miles and his new opportunity. It also bought us Rico Dowdle, who we're super excited about as well. I think he's going to bring a physical run style similar to Chuba. and that's kind of the DNA that we want on that side of the ball. So we're excited about both those guys, kind of a 1-2 punch. They both can catch the ball out of the backfield. They can both pass protect, and they're both obviously really good runners that we're excited about.
Any other questions for Dan? All good? All right, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate you.
All right, see you guys. Thanks.